So in this video, we'll actually start the DHCP server and make sure it's functioning so it can hand out IP addresses for our clients. First, what we'll do is make sure that it survives a reboot of the system. And we do that by using the check config utility. And what I'm going to do is tell it to start in levels 3 and 5. 3 is full networking without the GUI, 5 is full networking with the GUI multi-user. And we'll just say DHCP D and on. And then we'll do a check config. And we'll list and we'll grep for DHCP. Now that did not turn the system on, that just makes sure that if it reboots, the system will come back and run it. So to turn it on in this instance that we're in right now, we're going to init.d, DHCPD, and we'll say start. And we can see that it started. We can verify that in a couple different ways. If I type netstat -nulp and say to grep for ports 6, anything, or actually anything with DH, we'll do it that way. We can see that the server is listening on port 67, and the client side, which is pointing out to the physical network, is listening for IP addresses on 68. Fantastic. Then we can do a less in var log messages. This is one way we can do it, and we can actually see information. Actually, we have the client going out there already making a request, and we can see that it's not going to be handing out subnet information on any of the interfaces except for the bonded interface. And we should see it right there. So it's sending out and listening on the bonded interface, and it's ignoring ETH2, ETH1, and ETH0. And we really want to make sure it's ignoring ETH1 because that points out to our physical network. And you never want to turn on a DHCP server on somebody else's physical network. So we want to make sure it's isolated to the virtual environment that we're in. So we'll get out of here, clear that, and there's a file. It's set up and it's doing what it's supposed to do, right? Everything is working. We can use firewall rules to block it for that too, and we'll talk about firewall rules later on when we start securing the services. But there is a file that I can go into, etc sysconfig DHCPD, and here I can put some arguments that are passed to DHCP, and the one thing that I'll put in here is bond 0, meaning I only want you to function on the bond 0 interface and nothing else. So it's looking good. We have NAT set up, we have the bonded interfaces going, we have DHCP, looks like it's functioning. Next, what we'll do is actually go up and start our client from a static interface and then turn it over to DHCP and see how things work.